There's a painter I've been hearing about for years, a man capable of transforming a simple brushstroke into pure light, Singer Sargent. And today, I have a mission: to understand why so many artists consider him their absolute master. So if you thought you knew 19th century art, just wait until you see this. We're going to the Musée d'Orsay. Come on, follow me. We're off to Paris, heading for the Louvre. All we'll have to do is cross the Seine and go to the other side to visit the second largest museum in Paris, one of my favorites, the Musée d'Orsay, a museum dedicated to the fantastic 19th century. And here we are at the Musée d'Orsay. The place itself is incredible, a former train station transformed into a temple of art. So who is this artist with the somewhat mysterious name? Singer Sargent was a painter born in 1856, technically American, but who practically grew up all over Europe. His parents were true cultural nomads: Florence, where he was born, Paris, London, Madrid. Sargent was exposed to all the great artistic traditions from his childhood. First portrait. I was expecting something classic, and then the trick hits me like a ton of bricks. Those brush strokes that seem applied in 2 seconds but land in exactly the right place. What technical virtuosity! His brush strokes seem rapid, almost improvised, but each touch is incredibly precise. It's often said that he could paint a garment or a face in a matter of minutes with disconcerting ease. Then, he had a gift for capturing the personality of his subjects, not just their appearance, their attitude, their energy, their social status. He painted the soul in a way. And then he mastered light to an almost photographic degree. Many compare him to Velázquez, who was one of his great role models. Sargent is, in a way, the impossible mix of spontaneity and absolute control. He could spend hours thinking, then paint in a few minutes with formidable efficiency. I continued my visit and came across Madame X. That's when I understood. The pose, the attitude, the tension in her arm. It wasn't just a portrait, it was an entire scene unfolding before our eyes. Sargent wasn't painting people, he was creating characters. In 1884, Sargent exhibited his portrait of Madame Gautreau, nicknamed Madame X, in Paris. The painting caused a monumental scandal. The pose, the black dress, the bare shoulder, too daring for the standards of the time. The scandal was so great that Sargent had to leave Paris and settle in London. Ironically, today, Madame X is considered an absolute masterpiece. While he was the most sought-after portrait painter in the world, Sargent hated it. He found it exhausting. From a certain age, he almost completely refused commissions to return to his passion: landscapes and watercolor. What impresses me most here is the sense of movement in his paintings. His technique, broad fluid brushstrokes, deliberately blurred or suggested areas, ultra-precise details placed in strategic locations, and an almost scientific control of light. Many contemporary artists say that Sargent was the most modern painter before his time. But behind this apparent ease there was enormous rigor. This blend of spontaneity and precision is what makes him a master. I came to understand a painter. I leave with the feeling that I've met a master of light. If you're ever in Paris, I highly recommend seeing this exhibition, otherwise you'll have to go to New York. You leave with a strange feeling, that of having met the models, having been in the studios, and almost having seen Sargent paint. Leave me a comment if you'd like me to continue these exhibition visits, or if you have an artist you'd like to feature in a vlog. Thanks for watching, and see you very soon for another artistic exploration.